I want to ask you, and I want you to put it in the comments. Do you have a major project that you have to get done, that you want to get done because it means so much for your business and it has been on stall? It has not been happening. It's not getting done. Tell me in the comments if you have a major project that you know is going to transform your business, your career, your profession. If you get it done, let me know. Well, the reason I'm asking is because yesterday I finally hit the submit button, finally, after 3 years of revising and editing and developing and downloading my book. My first solo book called Finding the Source, Realize Your Purpose and Power. And I am so excited that today I'm getting to share that with you because it has transformed me in the last 3 weeks, getting to that point where I hit the submit button yesterday. And I had to put in a lot of hours. Oh my God. Oh my God. And that didn't make me afraid or anything. That it wasn't why it took 3 years. Wasn't the hours that why it took 3 years. I'll tell you why it took 3 years. Because I kept getting triggered every time I went into the book because it's about my life and there's a code in here, there's a story, and this is what kept coming up for me as I kept going into the book, but then finding ways to say, okay, well, I have 3 years to write this book. The deadline was another issue for me. If you know me, I'm a CPA and I'm used to, tax deadlines and getting returns filed on time and meeting deadlines. If I have a deadline, I'm going to meet it. Like, I know that I can get deadlines done, but this deadline was not strong enough for me. So let me ask you before I move on, do you also need a deadline to help you get these major projects that you're working on, that you've had the inspiration or that someone has inspired you to create and helped you to build, but you don't get it done if there's no deadline? Like, let's say you're trying to build a landing page or something like that. Do you need a deadline on yourself? Especially if you're the entrepreneur. If you're the boss and you're the one who has to create the deadline, will you follow your own deadline? Let me know in the comments as well. I'd love to hear, because when we're delegating to other people, it's easier to manage deadlines because we have an expectation. But when you're delegating to yourself, is the expectation that you're going to get it back? Connie's better with deadlines. Yes. Yes, we're definitely better than deadlines. Thanks, Connie, for coming to watch. I love your support. And I'm going to ask now and put it in the banner here, like, subscribe, and comment on whatever channel you're watching right now, especially if it's YouTube, so that I can help grow my message and my impact into the world. That would really help me out. Thank you so much. So why is it important that you go all in with what this thing you're creating is? You go all in, you set a deadline, you make the time to get it done, you get help if you're getting triggered while it's in the process. Because what I remember over these last 3 years, I actually, for 1 whole year, did not even touch the book. So I could have had it done 2 years ago or 1 year ago if I had a deadline that was at 2 years. And I'm not blaming the people who gave me the deadline. This is me. This is how I operate. I need a shorter deadline. I cannot have a 3-year deadline. And so for my next books, which are already also downloaded, I have to give myself a stronger deadline. But one of the things I noticed while I was working on this book in the last 3 weeks is that it was working on me. I kept reading it. I think I did about 10 passes through the book this last time to get it ready for the submission button to the manuscript, second manuscript submission yesterday. It was talking to me. It was inspiring me. It was telling me what I'm doing. And it was like, a resonant field that I kept working in. And I was so excited this last 3 weeks while I worked on the book. It really was an amplifying, aligning experience to come into this with my mind, with my heart, with my body, with my energy, all aligned to complete this thing. And I know, even though I haven't had the yes from the person who is assessing it right now or will be, I know that it's moving to the next stage of publishing. I know it is. And there's something a little bit different there. Can you ask yourself the same question about something you're creating? If you know that it's happening, if you feel that, yes, it's going to take place, doesn't it feel a little bit different than, oh, I hope it passes, I hope that it works? Like, even just me changing, my whole body language changes when I get into this, oh, I hope it works kind of talk. So I know that this book is moving through the next stages and is on its way to getting published this year. And I am sitting here right now because I recently read a book on audiobook while I was at the gym called Be Your Future Self. And I'm going to claim it here on this show today. On November 3rd, my birthday, I want to be having a launch party for this book. I want this book to launch on my birthday this year. That would be an amazing experience and a great birthday present to myself this year. So I'm claiming that right now. And I also am looking at my notes because I did write down some great things here about the story. I want to talk a bit about the story of this book. Why did I create it? Why did I create it? Finding the source, realize your purpose and power. Because I entered into an experience where I got the opportunity. I was in a business coaching program and I got the opportunity to write a book in this program. And when I downloaded the original book, it just came in through flow. It was in a beautiful resonant field for 4 days where I received the book and I was held in a container where I could receive the book. And I love that about containers is you can be held in a higher frequency than you're normally operating on, where you can receive deep information about yourself. And that's kind of how I work. That's what my work is about too. So for me, I'm like, oh yeah, I'm in this potent field. I'm going to download this book. So when I was downloading it, I felt like something was coming through that needs to be read by other people. And another publisher that I work with, Melissa Keenan from Heart Opening, she talks about your books having healing codes in them. And I felt this. I felt this when I downloaded this book because that's what I've been working on my whole life. My story is about me discovering my purpose. It's about me aligning with my power and realizing my power because I always knew that I had a lot of power, but I also couldn't manage it. I didn't know how to transmit it. And I was constantly compromising myself. This was something that really landed for me yesterday after I hit that submit button. The stories in the book, it lays out where I compromised what I already knew about myself to be liked, to be fit in, to be accepted by people who never really deserved me in their life to begin with. And if when I was a young girl, if I would have known that I was holding this high frequency, this power, this innate power within me that is here to do really good things, and that might be scary to other people when I was a little kid because they didn't want to, potential is really powerful. Potential is a lot of power. And I was in it when I was a kid. I was owning it. But also, it was scary. And I didn't know how to be confronted with that, be confronted with that I have something important to do in this life. And maybe that's why I wasn't getting asked out on dates, because there wasn't somebody there to match that frequency with me. And I should have just, I know that if I would have known now what I knew then, it would have been a different story. But so here's the other thing that I really discovered in my book when I was going through it the last 3 weeks. I needed all of those lessons to write the book. I had to have those lessons to become who I am now. And there was no way out of it. There was no way I could have downloaded this whole book or this whole teaching or everything that I do now without the experiences that I had, without compromising myself, without getting out of alignment, without the contrast of knowing what I don't like and what I do like. So really found myself. And that's why the book is named Finding the Source. It's really the source of you, finding your source through all of the dark nights of the soul, through all of those experiences in your relationships growing up and later. There's 3 major relationships in this book that go through it. And it really opened me up in the last 3 weeks, even more to my purpose, why I'm here, what I'm meant to do. And it is inspiring me. And I'm having so much fun with this book. I'm really feeling excited now. So I want to ask you another question. If you finished that book or that project or that thing that you started that you know is the thing that is going to get you more visible, it's going to give you more credibility, it's going to give you that step to the next level that you want, you know you want it. But if you finish that thing that you started, you had to have started it already. Okay? You can't finish something you've never started. So you've had to have already started it. If you finish this, I guarantee you, just because I've experienced in the last 3 weeks, that you are going to get into a whole new frequency. It is going to help you propel yourself. So what do you need? What do you need? What will help you to get there? And one of the things that helped me was a deadline, some accountability, somebody coming behind me and saying, you know what, if you don't do this, we're not going to finish it with you. Because here's the other thing. When I downloaded that book 3 years ago, I paid $10,000 to get it published. I have already paid for this all. And I don't want to lose out on that. So maybe there's something you've already paid for even that you haven't finished that is ready to be finished, was ready to help you get to the next level of visibility. And there might be something else there. There might be something else that is stopping you. Because like I said, I'd go into that book 2 years ago and, start working on a chapter. And then, that experience, that past experience, I'd be like, I don't want to work on that. And I would find another thing to be busy with, because I can be very busy with a lot of things. I'm good at getting busy. I'm a work creator. So what is it? Just asking you, think about it, mull about it. What is it? Because the practice, if there is something that you want to finish and you are, you've been triggered by it before, you can make yourself busy with other things. You can distract yourself. You can decide to watch Netflix at night, because I did that too. I could have been working on my book and I'd still watch Netflix at the end of the day. And I could have been editing or, putting things together. The practice is just coming back to micro alignments, coming back to yourself as much as possible, where you can listen to yourself, where you can go inside and hear what is it needed next, what is needed right now for me to feel good. Because another part of working on a huge project that is going to amplify you to the next level of yourself is you have to feel good doing it. How do you feel good? Or if you're not feeling good, do you like to work on really expanding projects? No, you have to kind of feel good. Like if I'm going to do a live video, and come on Receptive Radio, I want to feel good. So I make it a point that every Thursday I feel good. And I want to feel good every day. So I make it a point to feel good every day. I can't always control everything. So sometimes I get, blindsided. But in general, I try to feel good every day. And the way I can do that is by doing my inner work, which I also guide people towards learning how to do that. And it works. It's like these micro alignments that we help ourselves with. And it comes from your health and wellness routine, your lifestyle choices. It comes from the times you go to sleep and times you get up in the morning. It comes from all of those small routine things that add up to a lot of life force and energy so that you have the power to get the things done. Because we can make ourselves over busy, especially being entrepreneurs. So, what do you want to be all in with this project? And I would really love if you are not wanting to put in the comments about a big project that you're working on, or you can't think about it right now, make a connection with me. Reach out to me and let me help you, brainstorm it or whatever. What is that thing that maybe you've forgotten you even started? So one of my shamanic teachers, we're really good at starting things, but we're really shitty at completing things. And when you're leaving things uncompleted, it's all leaking energy. It's draining you and you don't even realize it. You might wonder, why do I feel so tired? Well, what is not getting completed? What is not finished? What is draining you? And maybe you decide you never want to complete something you did start. Well, then you decide that. You decide that and you shelf it forever, or you sell it, get somebody else to complete it for you. So I'd love to get you on the wait list. So here's the thing. I submitted my book yesterday, and I'm really excited to keep telling you about the progress that I make through the processes, the steps, because next step is, after the manuscript assessment, it's going to editing and proofing. And then I think right away I'm going to start working on the book cover design and the marketing plan, the launch party, and all of that kind of thing. Like I said, November 3rd, my birthday, that's my hope for the launch. Not my hope. I know it is. So, constantly have to watch yourself where you can align more with what you want and the higher frequency there. So please join the wait list. I'll drop it in the chat in the comments after this episode. And I'm so grateful for everyone who comes and watches, all the people who help me and support me and come live, and all the people who watch the recording. Please like and subscribe to my YouTube channel and help me to grow. And let me know if you need my help to help you to grow if you're in my community. And I'll see you next time.